There has been a lot of chatter about the Nintendo Switch ever since the presentation, and well, understandably so. And now we have some comments from the very own Reggie Fils-Aime from Nintendo in an interview with Wired. Now, the full interview with him and Wired is rather lengthy. Of course, I'm not going to go on to the whole interview, but I want to focus on a couple of snippets that helps clarify a couple of things about their plans for the Switch. Now, the most controversial topic surrounding the Switch is undoubtedly the paid multiplayer service that they're going to be offering once the free trial ends in the fall. And there's been a lot of chatter around the fact that compared to the PS4 and Xbox One's offerings, the multiplayer doesn't sound brilliant because, well, the monthly free game that you get isn't free at all, really. It's just a monthly thing and then it goes away after the month, unlike with the PS4 and Xbox One. Now, why I'd actually asked is if the free classic game per month, does that mean if you lose access to that game after a month? And well, the answer is yes. As Reggie said, quote, correct. It means that essentially you've got access to that game for a period of time, and then after the month there's a new selection. You have the opportunity to buy it, but after that month we've moved on to another game. I think it would be helpful maybe to take a step back, because I think it's important there's an understanding of the bigger vision. The bigger vision is that we are going to provide an overall online service, subscription based, that not only will capture the multiplayer opportunity, but also the voice chat capability that we're going to provide through a global app. We think that's just as important as access to virtual console content. So basically, it's as we originally thought, that monthly game is just for the month, and after that month is up, unless you want to cough up for the actual full game, then it's gone from your account, which is not brilliant, as I said previously, because as with both the PS4 and Xbox One, as long as you're still subscribed, you can still get access to those games. It doesn't matter how long ago you got them. It could have been in the first month of your subscription and you've now been subscribed for 2 years. It doesn't matter, you can still play that game, which is obviously way better than, hey, you can get this game free for a month. Now, one of the other concerns about the Switch, and quite rightfully so I might add, is that there's going to be a problem with supply and demand. Now, the reason this is such a common and understandable concern is the fact that the NES Classic was very, very hard to get hold of, and there were numerous accusations levelled at Nintendo deliberately holding back supply to basically falsify scarcity. And Wired actually asked them about what Reggie foresaw in terms of the number of Switch consoles that they'll be able to release this year. And he said, quote, what we said publicly is that there'll be 2 million units that will be shipped worldwide for the launch, essentially through month 1. I know, because I read the boards and I read the comments, that there is concern about supply. The concern seems to stem from the lack of ability to buy NES Classic. So what I would say is this, 2 million for essentially the first month is a huge number, especially when you look and see that this is not a peak seasonality. This is essentially the first 3 weeks of March. Our focus is making sure that the consumer who wants to buy a Nintendo Switch can buy a Nintendo Switch. That's how we build our supply chain. That's how we think through the amount of products that's available. Now, the last thing I want to touch on from their interview is what this means for the 3DS. Now, I know Nintendo have said that the Switch is not meant as a replacement for the 3DS, but they've said that before, where, hey, this thing isn't going to replace this thing, and as soon as the new thing does well, the older thing is, of course, just kind of left in the dust. So, in my mind, this is Nintendo hedging their bets, because, well, the Switch could very easily replace the 3DS for a lot of people, if it has, of course, the games to back it up. So, what did Reggie have to say about that? Quote, 3DS has a long life in front of it. We've already announced games that will be launching in the first couple of quarters of this year. There are a number of big games coming. In our view, the Nintendo 3DS and Switch are going to live side by side. You're going to be meeting different price points. You're going to be meeting different types of consumers. You're going to have the newest, freshest content available on Nintendo Switch. You've got a 1,000 game library available on Nintendo 3DS, plus some key ones coming. They're going to coexist just fine. We've done this before, managing 2 different systems. I think there's a sense that Nintendo Switch is a portable device rather. It is portable, but at its heart, it's a home console that you can take with you on the go. So whether or not that confirms or denies my feeling that Nintendo are hedging their bets by saying that they're not replacing the 3DS is kind of murky, to be honest. I mean, Is it a home console? I mean, yeah, technically, but I think its coolest feature is the fact that you can play these games on the go that you wouldn't normally be able to play on the go, like Breath of the Wild, like Skyrim, like whatever else is going to be announced in the future. Personally, I think if the Switch does really, really well and we see like Pokemon games come out for the 3DS and other games that really do well on the 3DS, the 3DS is going to start to be phased out. But I hope not. I really like my 3DS. I've had it for a while and I've got quite a few games for it. So if it can continue to do well, cool by me. I'm just saying, it's my feeling that the 3DS will eventually be phased out if the Switch is successful. If not, then probably not. But of course, you know, whether or not that happens remains to be seen. Despite the negativity surrounding the Switch after the presentation, this is still a brand new Nintendo console with a Zelda game on it on launch day. So I have a feeling that at launch at least it's going to do okay, but the launch lineup apart from Zelda is pretty poor, and the games that have been announced so far, well, there's some cool ones in there, but there's nothing that goes, oh my god, I need to get it. I mean, Zelda's pretty awesome, but to be honest, I'm tempted just to get a Wii U so I can play that, because £280 for just Zelda, and there's nothing else announced that really interests me. I'll pass on that, thanks. Let me know your thoughts and opinions though, guys. I would love to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.